Hello, Misfits, and Happy New Year! In this episode, I want to talk all about communication, which, in my opinion, is the most important aspect of Dungeons and Dragons, or maybe even life. I know that might be a bold statement, but I am standing by it, and I'm going to explain why. Now, I was going to make a completely different video today that featured communication as like one of my points, but yeah, the communication section of that video just kept getting longer and longer and longer, and I thought about making just a video just about communication in general, so here I am making that video. So I guess in the future, if I am using communication as one of my points, I'm just gonna refer you back to this video. So anyway, as with anything, these are my opinions, these are my points, they're not the law. This is just what I think, so take from it what you will, use what's helpful, ignore what's not. Number 1, be transparent. Make your expectations and non-negotiables clear. Know what you're getting into and know what you can't handle. You can't wait around and expect somebody to tell you exactly how they run their game or tell you exactly what they expect out of D&D. You're gonna have to, make your opinions and thoughts and expectations known. You might need to put that foot forward first, and that's just part of life. So be transparent, be honest. Don't hold things back, don't withhold things, because then you could end up being disappointed. You could mislead your DM or your other players. We all need to be on equal footing, and that can only happen if we are transparent about what we want, what we don't want. Number 2, ask questions. Don't stay silent, don't assume things, and don't look for answers in the wrong places. Remember that the DM has the final say in things, so if you aren't the DM, you need to make sure you double check with them if you're confused about a ruling or confused about how certain aspects of the game work. And if you are the DM, you're gonna need to know the answers to these questions and be prepared for that. Number 3, be responsive. This is a big one, and honestly, this is something that I think my table and myself struggle with. But don't ghost or ignore people. There's a difference between hearing or reading something and then actually listening and comprehending that thing. Okay, so if somebody, the player or the DM, is giving out information, sending information, asking for input, don't just leave them on read or ignore them or put off answering them until a later time. Let them know that you've heard from them. Let them know that you received their message and make sure that you respond. A lot of the breakdown in communication is the fact that both people aren't doing it. It's a two-way street. It's not enough for one person to reach out and start it or talk or ask the questions. The other person has to respond and contribute to the conversation as well. So be responsive, please. This is a huge thing, and we can't really just ignore stuff, because this is how DMs know if the things they are saying or the information they're giving out is being received. This is how players know that their thoughts or concerns are being heard. This is pretty crucial. Number 4, be proactive. You can't just wait around to let somebody know important information. You need to let them know ASAP. Remember that D&D is a group project, okay? So if you procrastinate on something, that affects more than just you. That is affecting the entire group of people, okay? If you want to procrastinate and put stuff off in your own personal life, sure, have at it. I do it all the time. But when it comes to a situation that really a lot of people are waiting on you or relying on you, you can't leave them hanging, because honestly, that's just probably rude if we're being frank. But yeah, be proactive. And this has to do with lots of things. This could be making sure that the second a conflict comes up, you let them know, you let your DM know or your players know. This could be, the second you're not going to be able to commit to the full game, to making sure that the whole group knows that. Those kinds of things. It sort of goes hand in hand with number 3, honestly. Don't leave people hanging. You've got to kind of just really go for it and get the ball rolling on these things. You can't just sit around and wait on some of this stuff. Number 5, and I'm not sure if this is so much communication or just like having integrity, but follow through. If you say you're going to do something, do it, okay? Showing that you can uphold your promises and commitments is what's going to build trust at your table and with your friends. Nobody wants somebody that always says that they're going to do all these things and then they never actually do them. That's flakiness, and that's frustrating. And again, this is a group of people that are relying on you. D&D really only works well when everybody is doing their part and everybody is contributing. So, like a chain is as strong as its weakest link. Don't be that weakest link, okay? Make sure that you're dependable and you're reliable and you follow through with the things that you say you're going to do. Whether that's hosting the game, making sure that you do follow through and you hold the game like you said, or whether that's showing up or contributing certain things to the game. This could be lots of different things, but it's pretty important. So these are not the only 5 steps that you must complete in order to effectively communicate. These are just like the big things that came to my mind. These are the things that I think would be kind of hard to ignore, but of course there's other aspects and facets to communication, obviously. And these are pretty crucial, and I think they're necessary for having a happy table and a game that runs smoothly. But even great tables and great group of friends can drop the ball on these things. I know that my table does. I know that I do. But what's important is recognizing when that happens and trying to do better in the future. That's kind of the best that we can do, really. We're never going to be perfect all the time. We're human beings. We are flawed and we're going to make mistakes. But recognizing those mistakes and learning from them is what's really, really important. These aren't like 5 steps that you complete and the second you do them the first time, you're done and you never have to worry about communication ever again. No, this is like an active thing that you have to work on every game, every day. This doesn't go away. So it takes effort, and for people that are introverted like me and hate sitting down and having a conversation about tough things, yeah, it's not always fun, but what you get out of it in the long run is what makes the difference here. I know that my table trusts me as a DM, and they can tell that I trust them, and I've put in a lot of effort to talk to them and make sure that I understand what they want out of the game and make sure that they understand what I want out of the game and the kind of game that I want to deliver. And I try to make my expectations clear as well. So it's sort of a weird thing that I think a lot of people don't think about at first. When I'm going through and I'm looking at all these different like posts asking for advice and posts complaining about these like horror stories in D&D, so many of them can be solved by simply sitting down and having a conversation. Like, it's unbelievable. My DM ruled something this way, and I've never experienced that before, and I'm not used to that. What are your thoughts about it? Well, don't ask me what my thoughts are about it. Go talk to your DM and let them know that that situation frustrated you or confused you. They can't change if they don't know that there's a change that needs to be made. But also, you can't know what type of game you're getting into if you don't sit down and talk about, what to expect and what they're willing to give you. So it's a two-way street. Both people have to work at it for it to work. So this is a very interesting video. It's not quite the same as some of the others, but I think it is so important. Everybody deals with this, and everybody knows what it's like when some of these things don't happen. Everybody has experienced flakiness or dishonesty or a lack of information. Like, we all know what those are like, and we all know what that can lead to. So when you try to put forth this effort to make sure those things don't happen, to put in that extra effort to be better and to talk to each other, then when you see what it can lead to and create, you'll understand why it's so important. Like, it's so beneficial and so crucial to just not only having a good game, but just having a better group of people and a closer group of friends. So this is my tips on communication. Hopefully all of this is helpful to you, and hopefully you liked this video. If you do, please feel free to like and subscribe. And please comment below. Talk about some other things that you think are important when communicating in D&D. And, maybe talk about some of the things that happen when you don't, or some of the cool things that have happened when you did, and, all those kinds of things. I'd love to hear about that and read those. So please comment below. But with all of that said, I hope you guys have a lovely day and a lovely new year, and I will see you again next time. Well, I took a small bit of a break, but I did finally kind of get the ball rolling on trying to get some of the rest of Campaign 1 out. So hopefully those that have been watching Campaign 1, or I guess I should say listening to Campaign 1, hopefully you guys have enjoyed that. It shouldn't take as long to get the rest of that out, so keep an eye out for that. Not gonna lie, this year's Christmas was not quite as merry and bright as some in years past. It was, I was hoping for like a holiday where I could sort of relax and recuperate, and it was way more stressful than that, which was a little frustrating. Just like people being sick, burst pipes, dangerous driving conditions, bad weather, stuff like that. It honestly took my family a few days before we actually got around to celebrating Christmas. So an interesting year, but we finally got there, and by the end it was a good time. Got some lovely dice, which was wonderful. Got some things from my friends, so that was all great. But I will be back in the swing of things, getting these videos out to you guys and sort of resuming my usual schedule. There will be no Campaign 2 video Friday. We're still sort of on break from our campaign, but we'll come back next week. But I will try to get something out. It'll either be Campaign 1 video Friday or possibly something else. So keep an eye out for that. But that's all I got for you today. So have a good rest of your day, guys.